If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. I don't care that they stole my idea. I care that they don't have any of their own. Be alone. That is the secret of invention. Be alone. That is when ideas are born. The day science begins to study non-physical phenomena, it will make more progress in 1 decade than in all the previous centuries of its existence. Invention is the most important product of man's creative brain. The ultimate purpose is the complete mastery of mind over the material world, the harnessing of human nature to human needs. The scientists of today think deeply instead of clearly. One must be sane to think clearly, but one can think deeply and be quite insane. Today's scientists have substituted mathematics for experiments, and they wander off through equation after equation and eventually build a structure which has no relation to reality. I do not think there is any thrill that can go through the human heart like that felt by the inventor as he sees some creation of the brain unfolding to success. Such emotions make a man forget food, sleep, friends, love, everything. All that was great in the past was ridiculed, condemned, combated, suppressed only to emerge all the more powerfully, all the more triumphantly from the struggle. A new idea must not be judged by its immediate results. Originality thrives in seclusion free of outside influences. The idea came like a flash of lightning, and in an instant the truth was revealed. I could only achieve success in my life through self-discipline, and I applied it until my wish and my will became one. The progressive development of man is vitally dependent on invention. The scientific man does not aim at an immediate result. He does not expect that his advanced ideas will be readily accepted. Archimedes was my ideal. I admired the works of artists. But to my mind, it was the inventor who gave to the world creations which are palpable, which live and work. I am credited with being one of the hardest workers, and perhaps I am, if thought is the equivalent of labor. Of all things, I liked books best. I do not think you can name many great inventions that have been made by married men. Inventors don't have time for married life. The spread of civilization may be likened to a fire. First, a feeble spark, next a flickering flame, then a mighty blaze, ever increasing in speed and power. Once in a while, out of sheer perversity, I do something that is contrary to what I think is right, but I always feel unhappy about it afterward. The history of science shows that theories are perishable. With every new truth that is revealed, we get a better understanding of nature, and our conceptions and views are modified. No desire for material advantages has animated me in all this work. We build to tear down. Most of our work and resource is squandered. The harness of waterfalls is the most economical method known for drawing energy from the sun. I attempt to observe nature, always. I am intent on resemblance, and resemblance more real than the real, attaining the surreal. Electric power is everywhere present in unlimited quantities and can drive the world's machinery without the need of coal, oil, gas, or any other of the common fuels. Throughout space there is energy. It is a mere question of time when men will succeed in attaching their machinery to the very wheelwork of nature. When wireless is fully applied, the Earth will become a huge brain, capable of instant response to every thought of its people. The desire that guides me in all I do is the desire to harness the forces of nature to the service of mankind. I am trying to awake the energy contained in the air. These are the main sources of energy. Miss Tesla, tell it to everybody. So astounding are the facts in this connection that it would seem as though the Creator himself had electrically designed this planet. The Earth is bountiful, and where her bounty fails, nitrogen drawn from the air will refertilize her womb. If you don't know how, observe the phenomena of nature. They will give you clear answers and inspiration. Alternate currents, especially of high frequencies, pass with astonishing freedom through even slightly rarefied gases. The practical success of an idea, irrespective of inherent possibilities, depends on the attitude of contemporaries. Of all the forces of friction, the one which mostly slows down the human progress is ignorance, the thing called by Buddha the greatest evil in the world. The gift of mental energy comes from God, the Supreme Being, and if we concentrate our thoughts on this truth, we get into harmony with this great power. My mother taught me to seek all truth in the Bible. Scientists today think deeply instead of clearly. A man must be sane to think clearly, but it's possible to think deeply and be rather crazy. Today's scientists have substituted mathematics for experiments, and they wander from one equation to the next in order to end up with a structure that has no correspondence with reality. The progress of civilization seems like fire. First the spark, then the flame, and finally an explosion of fire increasing its speed and power. Whatever we try to do in any area, we must submit it to our efforts, because we depend on the force. Our virtues and our failures are inseparable, just like energy and matter. When they separate, the man is not there anymore. The universal peace as a result of cumulative efforts through the centuries can come into being quickly, not like crystal, which at once forms a solution that has been slowly in preparation. A scientist is not aiming toward sudden results. He does not expect his advanced ideas to be readily accepted. Science is a personal perversion except if its end goal is the betterment of mankind. I see it as my duty, as a son of his country, to help the city of Zagreb in every way by advice and deed. On that day when science begins to study non-physical spiritual phenomena, it will advance in a decade more than in the early centuries of its history. Man must exercise temperance and control of his senses and leanings in every way, thus keeping himself young in body and mind. Restraint has not always been according to my taste, but my pleasurable experiences are a huge reward. Insufficient observation is only a form of unknowing, a cause of many perverse incidents and a triumph of crazy ideas. I was amazed at this man who, without thorough education or scientific experience, did so much.